Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. We're here at Hogan Prep, home of the Mighty Rams. We're at one of their practices, and we've got their head coach. Who do we have here?
Coach Rob Heitman.
Hey, Coach, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, this is my 13th year at Hogan Prep. I spent 6 years on the girls' side, and this is my 7th year on the boys' side. A couple seasons ago, we were fortunate enough to win the Class 3 state title. A year before that, we went to a Final Four. So before we went on air here, Carlos and I were talking about the rich tradition of Hogan Prep boys basketball, and I think this season we're going to be looking to try to return the program to a more respectable status.
Last night you played, was that Kaufman?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to our audience a little bit about that, because I asked the kids, what did you say to them in the halftime? Talk to us about the first quarter, the second quarter.
Yeah, I tell you what, Coach Davis, Coach Tyrone Davis for Kaufman deserves a lot of credit. He took over the program, a lot of youngsters. I think he only has one senior in his top 9 or 10, and he just gets after you. And talking to Coach Wooten at center last week, they don't quit. They've got so much grit and resiliency. And I told my guys, Monday at practice, we broke out the tackling football pads, because that's how aggressive Kaufman's traps are.
Rough and ready.
Oh yeah, and we drilled that you can't dribble through a trap. You got to be strong with it and pass through it, and we didn't do that. So at halftime, we talked. The acronym I used last night was SSF: strong, share, and finish, and we failed on each one of those areas. So we had two big leads, one in the first half, one in the second half. To Kaufman's credit, they came back, tied it with under 2 to go, and we were fortunate to hit some big free throws down the stretch. But I see hopefully a Kaufman-Hogan rivalry developing on the basketball court. I think it could be very healthy for the community and very entertaining to fans.
What do you think your team took away from that?
You know, fortunately, I told the guys today, last week we played in the Savannah tournament up in Savannah, Missouri, and we played Smithville. And they have a similar style. More of a man pressure instead of zone pressure, full court, and fortunately we were able to play that game before Kaufman, because it's hard to prepare. You can't replicate what Kaufman does. I mean, their speed, their toughness, and they're in great condition. So we had the Smithville tune-up last week. And I just told my guys, we're not going to see this style a whole lot. Obviously, Coach Newton over at UA got us last year.
That was my next question.
Yeah, Coach Nody at UA got us, and the kids probably told you that. Yeah. If we're fortunate enough maybe to see UA in a district semi rematch, I'm sure Coach is going to maybe employ the same strategy until we can prove that we're strong enough to be able to handle that pressure.
On a 1 to 10, how would you rate your team this season?
Oh, it's too early. I mean, I think we have a chance to get to maybe a 7 or an 8. I think right now we're an average ball club. We're trying to find our way. We're trying to find roles, define roles. We've played so many different styles. We've played.
That's what I was going to ask.
We played a very slow-paced Maryville squad. Lost a tough one in the first game of the season. 2 up tempo styles with Kaufman and Smithville, and Savannah is mostly a zone. So the good news with that is I think we're prepared, but the bad news is we're about to face the really tough part of our schedule.
What would you consider your team? Defensive team, offensive team? What style?
Yeah, no, good question. Our identity needs to be our quarter-court defense, 25 feet from the basket. Last year, we didn't have very many strengths last year. Our primary strength was we held teams to, I think, 54.5 points per game. That's what we were able to hang our hat on. And I challenged the guys last night. We got off to a good start, and then Kaufman started to get loose on us, and we got to tighten some things up. So our strength is our half-court defense.
Tell me this. You got a real big man. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, Alfonso Scott.
How do you plan to get him more involved? Because it seemed like it would be hard to stop him from scoring if he's getting that ball.
Yeah, Alfonso has, and we've talked about this, Alfonso has to learn preparation and warm-ups. We're not just shooting from 19 feet 9 inches. We got to work with our back to the basket. So I don't think he's had a whole lot of experience growing up playing with his back to the basket.
He said he didn't play.
He likes to play. He likes to play facing up. So, but we're getting there. He had a really good experience last year on Coach Geeson's JV squad. With Alfonso, confidence is a big thing. So kind of a work in progress, but hopefully by the time districts rolls around in February, and I told you, our district is loaded. I mean, for Class 3, it's you got St. Mike's, who won it last year, UA, obviously Barstow, Summit Christian, Kaufman, Southeast. We know what's down the pike. So right now, we're an average squad, but we're going to be looking to hopefully peak come late February.
All right, Coach, who's next up on the calendar?
So we're getting ready to start our tough stretch. Tomorrow night we go to Clinton. Next week we've got Chillicothe up in the North Central Missouri College Shootout. Next Friday we got St. Pius, and then Columbia.
So do you play all your games away?
Yeah.
What would you consider a home game?
Home game was last night. Fortunately,
Kaufman
Kaufman asked us to come over, but yeah, we've got to be road warriors. We go on the road.
How does that affect the team?
I don't mind it as a coach because, again, you have to be 5 or 10 points better than your opponent every night because of just the whistle situation being on the road. Unfortunately for our family and friends of the program, they don't get to watch the guys very much.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. How important is it for you to have good fan participation and a good administration behind you?
No, it's vitally important. Vitally important when all those things come together. And just unfortunately, because of facility restraints, we're not able to play on campus. Hopefully, as you and I talked off air, maybe down the road a few years, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. I know we've kicked around the idea of maybe playing some games at Southeast back in the day. That's just it's not feasible. So at this point in time, like I said, we have to take our show on the road, be strong, and hopefully that's going to prepare us for postseason.
Pleasure having you on the show, Coach, and it's always a pleasure to be over here at Hogan Prep, home of the Mighty Rams.
Hey, thanks, Carlos, for your support.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.